Good Wednesday morning, everyone. My name is Shooter Storm, and I am here to do a recap from last week's Dynamite episode, AEW. First, I want to say this is the very first upload that we're going to have to the channel. I'm going to have to do it at around 20 minutes, I'm assuming, because the last time I tried this, I did it for 1 hour, and I was very happy with it, except when I went to put it online, it uploaded for 3 hours and then told me it was no good. So let's give this a try. I also tried to go live this morning at 6:30, as I posted it on all my social media that I was going live at 6:30 a.m. And what happens? It tells me that my stuff does not support going live on YouTube. Give me a fucking break. Anyways, this seems like it's going to be a good show. First off, though, I'm not a morning person. Never have been, never will be. 37 years old, don't think I'm ever going to change into being a morning person. What I have to be, I do it. When I don't have to, I don't. I just happen to be up this morning. Katie and I are up and rocking and rolling already, so she's getting ready, showering and things, and I figured I'd come on here and do, our very first, I guess we'll call it a podcast here today. It'll be our first podcast for the Headlocks and Hauntings YouTube channel, even though I'm already really mad at YouTube. YouTube and we got heat already, and it's just starting now. They're probably going to demonetize me for saying so. Before we get started, I'd appreciate it if you guys would just go ahead and subscribe to the channel, Headlocks and Hauntings. You can subscribe below. You can hit the bell icon to be notified when we are going to be coming on here and there's a new video uploaded. Give it a like. That, helps with all the different, the statistics and all of this and that and how we're able to build this channel. I have not done a YouTube channel before. I have plenty of my matches on YouTube. However, those were always uploaded by people that were at the events, fans and such. My promos were always uploaded by a good buddy of mine who would know what the hell he was doing with this, because I clearly am lost. But the one thing I'm not lost in is professional wrestling. I have a take on pro wrestling. I'm going to come in here. I'm not going to be, first and foremost, there's going to be no bullying. I'm not going to run people into the ground. I'm not going to do the thing that is, ruining what's supposed to be something good. Social media is supposed to be a platform for people like myself to be able to get out there and, people that are pro wrestlers, people that are musicians, anything they do, to be able to let people see what they do and be able to, do it without any kind of issues. But there's been a lot of bullying lately, and I mean, Jesus Christ, guys, what is this, high school? Settle down with the bullying. Don't do it. It doesn't make you cool. It makes you a complete douchebag. So just ease up on that. Katie and I are going to push toward that, the non-bullying situation. Because, I mean, again, this is not high school. We're real life. Most people that watch this, I mean, just be good to each other. That's really the extent of that. I mean, it's not doing you, me, or anyone any good. By, running somebody into the ground to the point where, they do something that they wouldn't normally do. I mean, mental health is a real thing. I have mental health issues. Katie has mental health issues. So I don't want to, we don't want any of that nonsense on our page. We're totally against that. The thing is that I will critique things in pro wrestling. I will say what's good, and I will say what's bad. And it's coming from, you got a lot of guys out here on, in the internet wrestling community, and they're not professional wrestlers. They're not in the business per se. They're more reporters and such. And I think some of them do a great job, and but I want to give a little different take on somebody who has been in the business for roughly 2 decades. Give you a little bit of my take on a situation and whatnot. So that's what you're going to get here. And I better get going, because if I don't start now, this thing's never gonna upload, and I'm gonna be angry and upset and the whole deal. I got another camera over here, this side taping as well. Just in case this one gives me a hard time, I could probably throw this one into a laptop. My whole studio is not set up yet. We're moving into a new house, buying a new home, Katie and I are, and we're going to have a full studio area with everything you need, and we haven't got all of our equipment, so this is bare bones minimum what you're getting right here. Basically, this is just a room in our studio, and that's what you're getting. So studio apartment now, but we're gonna have a studio in our house. So anyways, long story short, we're gonna go ahead with AEW Dynamite, a review of last week. It's going to be a quick recap, what I think about the show, and what I thought about that show leading into tonight at 8 p.m. on TNT, when Dynamite will come to us, again from Jacksonville, due to the pandemic. We're running one venue or two venues they've ran since the pandemic, but first time, for a while, it was at QT's wrestling school in Georgia, the Nightmare Factory, and then they're doing Daly's Place in Jacksonville. Last week on the 27th of May, the show opened backstage. It was coming hot off of the pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, which I'll give my opinion on that pay-per-view in a nutshell. It was awesome. It's quickly becoming AEW's WrestleMania. I feel as if with what they had to work with this year, being that, with the pandemic again, with everything that's going on in our world, it's, with the new normal, I believe that they put on a hell of a show. It was incredible in my eyes. I think it topped WrestleMania, and I think for the first 2 years, Double or Nothing has been a great show. So I'm thinking, going into next year, as long as everything's back to normal, God help us, it's going to be just continue each year to be what, the granddaddy of AEW. I was very, very impressed. So the show opened last Wednesday with the Inner Circle, Jericho with the rest of them. Jericho had made a bunch of different, a bunch of T-shirts like they would do in like the World Series or the Super Bowl or NBA championships, whatever. They would always have the T-shirts made for the team that was going to win. Well, he had them made up for the Inner Circle, for winning the main event at Double or Nothing, and obviously they did not. The Elite was victorious in that, with a sick finish with Omega dropping Sammy Guevara I don't even know, 30 feet. It was crazy to me. It was a cool finish. So they didn't know what to do, and so they had these boxes, probably 10 boxes out, and said, okay, well, we should be able to sell these, no problem. And then Santana or Ortiz, one of them told him, I think it was Ortiz, let him know that this wasn't all of them, and he went ahead and he opened the back of an 18-wheeler truck or whatever, and it was just filled with boxes of these T-shirts that they had to sell. So entertaining as always by the Inner Circle. I'll go on record to say anything that Jericho does makes me laugh, and and he can also be serious when he has to be serious. Jericho is, I would say now, in the year 2020, when I take a look from wrestlers past, present, Jericho is in the top 3 best ever, and I will go on record to say that, and I truly believe that. Alright, so with that, then it went over to a backstage with the Young Bucks and Matt Hardy discussing their first time ever teaming up in a 6-man tag, which it was going to be cool. I mean, that's historic in itself. They wrestled each other a lot. Obviously, the Young Bucks, they go ahead and they built their careers. The beginning of their careers were based off of what the Hardys did, and so they were back there with Matt Hardy. He was broken. He started doing his broken brilliance and this and that, and so Matt Jackson asked him if, hey, could we get it, maybe a different Matt tonight? So he went on and he became the Extreme Matt, the Hardy Boy, Extreme Matt Hardy, And then he went ahead and he changed again, and he came out as like, it looked like version 1 Matt Hardy, but it was a retro, like when they started, as basically, I think, as like when they were basically enhancement talent for WWF back in the mid 90s, before they got their big break. So anyways, they went out with a 6-man tag match. It was Private Party teaming with Joey Janela, the bad boy, versus Matt Hardy and the Young Bucks. Great 6-man tag, back and forth, back and forth. Ended with one of the members of Private Party. I don't know if it was Isaiah. One of them ended up with a knee, their knee getting hurt, which in turn Matt Hardy helped them out of, helped him to the back. You know, at the end of the day, it was just to get Matt out of the ring. It was a work deal, but it was able to get Matt out of the ring so that way the next segment could happen, which turned out to be FTR, the Revolt, the former Revival from the WWE. They drove into Daly's place and got out of their vehicle, hit the ring. This was when the Bucks had been attacked by the Butcher and the Blade. So the Butcher and the Blade were beating him down. Out came the Revival, and if you guys have been following AEW, if you've been following Being the Elite, the series, if you've been following anything related to the Elite and the Young Bucks, it's been this ongoing thing for a few years with FTR, whether it stood for Free the Revival, Fuck the Revival, this, that, whatever, the Revival. So, and it's been a dream match people have wanted to see. So out came what they're referred to now as FTR. They hit the ring. They looked at the Bucks. They went ahead and they beat up Butcher and Blade, got rid of them, shit canned them. Then they faced off with the Bucks. So everybody, you know, I'm sure everybody at home was, you know, going crazy thinking it was going to be it. And they turned around and they walked off. Now, a lot of people, I read online, I read a lot of stuff online what people say. I just like to see different opinions. Most of the time, I don't like to see any other opinions. Sometimes I like to see opinions, sometimes I don't, because some of them are so far out there. But some of them are like, oh, I don't know why they didn't do it. I don't know why they didn't do it. It's simple why they didn't do it. It's a build. This is going to be a build. Now, they've been building it coming in, but now building it, like, on TV, like, you got to understand, like, we don't have, like, fans in the audience and attendance at this point. However, when they are in there, that's when we're going to see it happen. That's when we're going to see, you know, the Revival jump the Bucks and then go after them. Let them build up a little bit in AEW. Let them wrestle guys like the Butcher and the Blade, maybe the best friends. There's a lot of Private Party. There's a ton of tag teams that they can work with, LAX, whatever. But at the end of the day, I think, you know, it's a perfect thing. They know what they're doing. This is not just some offshoot booking. These guys, like AEW, Tony Khan, and the people that he has surrounding him know how to book. I'll say from the get-go, you know, people can complain about this, complain about that, but I can tell you the one thing with AEW is their booking is pretty on par. They, you know, they kind of they do teases, and just when you think you have the answers, they change the questions, right? So I think they did it perfectly, and it's gonna escalate to be one of the top feuds of the year. You know, for remainder of 2020 and probably into 2021. So that was that. Great introduction by FTR. They look ready to go. They look happy. So we'll see tonight. I heard they might cut a promo tonight. I don't know if they have a match, but I know that they're cutting a promo this evening on TNT at 8 o'clock on AEW Dynamite. Alright, so go ahead. We come back from commercial. Jon Moxley joins the booth. Moxley, I guess, is going to be challenged at Fyter Fest coming up in either June or July. They don't have a date announced, verified yet. He's going to be challenged by the winner of the ladder match from Double or Nothing, and that was the debuting Brian Cage, who is now managed, mentored by Taz, which you can't go wrong there when you have Taz as your manager, your mentor. you have championships coming your way. I'm going to do a whole thing about this coming up in a future episode, so I don't want to just throw it all out there right now, but I'll say it's for the greater good. Brian Cage came out and he wrestled Lee Johnson, who's a guy, I believe he's from QT School. He's been pretty active on AEW Dynamite and Dark for the last few months, ever since the pandemic thing started. Katie thinks he's pretty good. She thinks he's the best of the group of them that come in and put other guys over. From his school, she really likes him, so that's cool. I'll forget names, and she'll be like, "Babe, that's Lee Johnson." So that makes me laugh that she remembers his name all the time. And he made Brian Cage look like $1 million. Brian Cage made himself look like $1 million, and Taz grabbed, and obviously Lee Johnson was pinned in about 2 minutes, but got the point across. And Taz got on the mic, spoke for Brian Cage, making it basically the official challenge to Moxley. And there you go. So it's set for the world title at Fyter Fest coming up in either June or July, where Jon Moxley defends the AEW Championship against Brian Cage. All right, then Britt Baker comes out in a wheelchair because she said she had a broken tibia. She was led to the ring by a former Rebel from Impact Wrestling, pushing her in her wheelchair. And the only thing all I'm gonna say here is Britt Baker is entertaining as hell. Like when she first came in as a babyface, although she was very good in the ring, she was very cookie cutter when it came to character-wise. As soon as they turned her heel, she has taken off, and she's one of the best things on any wrestling show now. I find her to be so damn entertaining. On the back, it said role model, and it was ROLL because she was in a wheelchair rolling. And then, and she is everyone's role model. She'll tell you if you don't believe her. And so she came out, and she basically went down the list of people to blame. She blamed everyone in the match, including referee Aubrey, who she let us know that she was there in her first injury, she was there during her second injury, and she was somewhere during her third injury, so she was obviously the common denominator. Britt Baker is very entertaining. The injury is not as serious as once believed. She had put on Twitter that that original doctor was a quack, and the real answer is coming last week on Dynamite, and she let everyone know that she would be back for All Out, which takes place in August. I don't know if we're going to be back to reality at that point in the real world, and hopefully there'll be able to be fans in attendance, but at least she's not going to be out at the predicted 6 to 9 months originally. So that's what happened with Britt Baker. Backstage again with the Inner Circle, just cutting a promo, and Orange Cassidy comes out of nowhere and just wanders through, looking around, not having a clue what's really going on, and walks off set. So that was that. That was a setup for a little later on. Like I said, every little thing that AEW does, it means something later on, and that's something I'm going to get into as well in just a little bit when I talk about toward the end of the show as well. Next was Yukira Shida, who's the new AEW Women's Champion. She defeated Nyla Rose at Double or Nothing, and I think that was the right choice. They pulled the trigger with her because Shida's been on a roll. People seem to like her, and she delivers some pretty good matches. So she's the new AEW Women's Champion. She defended the title against Christy James, who I don't believe is signed yet. I'm not 100% sure, but she may be. I mean, like I said, I don't know who's contracted and who's not. I have a lot of friends that work for AEW, but I don't know things like that. It's not my business. It's not something I want to ask, So I will say that Christy James is she's talented, very talented. I think she's good. I think the AEW women's division has come far and beyond from where it was at the beginning. It takes time. You got to build. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was the AEW women's division, but it seems now they're bringing in people that are very good, and I find it more entertaining than what goes on in WWE Women's Division at this time, at this place in 2020. So obviously, Sheeta over, still champ. As you can tell, I have just some notes here, just so I can remember, because last 19 years have been dropped on my head for, the better part of every weekend, sometimes during the week. So my head sort of isn't, my memory's not what it was, so let's just be fair. Just small notes making me remember. But for the most part, AEW is very memorable for what happens. I'm pretty sure when I have to do a Raw or a SmackDown review, I'm going to need to write a book, because nothing there right now is memorable. Alright, so out comes Cody with Arn Anderson. Cody is the new TNT, the television champion. I would call it the television champion. He said he came out, cut another incredible promo, but it's Cody. He always cuts an incredible promo. Excellent. Just everything he says has meaning. He takes after his dad and his brother when it comes to knowing what to say and putting things and everything, whether it be promos, whether it be in matches, just where to put things. Cody is, I think Cody may or may not be the best in wrestling today. And I think he's got, obviously he's got years and years to go to get even better. I don't know how much better he can get, but he's good. I just think he's the best. So after that, he came out and he said he was gonna defend his TNT title each week, and every single week, open challenge. And then I read on some of the sheets this week, maybe the Observer reported it, that he will be accepting challenges from outside of AEW as well, so some independent talent, who knows, New Japan, possibly Ring of Honor. I don't know if there's any kind of deal with those guys yet, but if not, it can't hurt to bring over a guy from ROH or bring a guy from New Japan. It's exposure. Exposure is exposure. So either way, Cody has an open challenge up where he'll defend his TNT title against anyone, going forward on the weeks on Dynamite. Okay, so next we had, what do we have here? Oh, a tag team match. It was SCU versus Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford and Jimmy Havoc also. And it was a jumpstart match, Pearl Harbor type deal, but it wasn't from behind, so I can't call it a Pearl Harbor. It was just a jumpstart from Sabian and Havoc, and obviously, when you have Penelope at ringside, you gotta be careful, because she's gonna get involved any way she can. So it's always gonna be 3-on-2 situation. So either way, the one of the funniest moves I saw, innovative and funny, and something I definitely would use with my character, was Havoc and Sabian, where Sabian hooked him in a catapult. So he hooked him like he's going to give him a slingshot catapult, and right into Jimmy Havoc eye poke. That right there popped me big. Hilarious, wonderful, just wonderful tag team wrestling. We can use stupid little things like that, but they mean something and they make me laugh. That right there pops me. I'm sure other people thought it was great. Of course, you're going to have some dummies, and you're going to get that anywhere. But, end of story. The winners of this tag match actually get a shot this week for the AEW tag team titles against Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. And surprisingly, probably surprised a lot of people that Sabian and Havoc ended up winning this match, going over SCU. I don't know if this is going to be a thing where they potentially, SCU starts having some issues between them and maybe do like a tease of a turn, because I really know they want to eventually, and by all means they should, start pushing Scorpio Sky, because as a singles guy, he's going to be a big star. And they showed that just a few weeks ago when they did that. That vignette about him where he was talking about where he came from and all that. So I see big things happening. I mean, Kazarian, he's done about everything in wrestling as well, and I could see some great singles matches between him and Scorpio Sky as well. Daniel's, on the tail end of his career, doing a lot of stuff with talent relations and things like that. He's going to be around forever as well. I mean, the guy hasn't aged since he was 22, so I can see it being, some good stuff there with potential issues with SCU leading to some good matches. And then this week, we're going to see Sabian and Havoc with Penelope. They're going to square off for the AEW tag titles, which are being defended for the first time in quite some time since, again, the pandemic started, against Hangman, Adam Page, and Kenny Omega, the tag champs. Okay, so there's a promo backstage, MJF with Wardlow. People know, if anybody here's talked to me, they know I believe that MJF is the future of pro wrestling. I think he is awesome. His promos, his ability in the ring, his old school style, everything that everybody else has said about him is the truth. MJF is the future. I truly believe that MJF is... how did I word it a couple weeks ago? I was thinking he's before his time, or he's far after his time, but he's far ahead of his time, and the same thing. He's so old school, but he's making old school cool. You know what I mean? I think he is incredible. He cut the promo, gold as always. Little small tease of a split with MJF and Wardlow. He said something, turned around and yelled at Wardlow, "You heard me," or whatever, and then Wardlow gave him this look, and he said, I'm just kidding, and walked away. Perfect, nice little tease. Could lead to nothing, but if it does lead to something awesome too, we'll be able to do whatever. Main event next, Battle Royal for the TNT title match next week. So the winner of this Battle Royal ends up getting a shot at Cody this coming Wednesday, which is tonight, 8 p.m. on TNT. Give you a quick list of the names of the people that were in it: MJF, Wardlow, Billy Gunn, Colt Cabana, Orange Cassidy, Marco Stunt, Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, Luther, Christopher Daniels, Peter Avalon, Sonny Kiss, and Brandon Cutler. Orange Cassidy, on his way to the ring, was attacked by LAX. So it's set up from earlier when he strolled through the promo of the Inner Circle. Bow, 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 bow. They beat him down, left him out. He was gone. He was out of the match for a while. Later on, he does come back in. So that is a thing. And he ends up being in the final two. There's a lot in between that I can't go over all of it right now because I don't know how much of this is going to actually work and load online. And because I want to be able to upload this. It came down to Orange Cassidy and Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy being the last man standing after a Hurricane of swords over the top rope on Orange Cassidy. So tonight, Jungle Boy versus Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship on Dynamite tonight. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. Once all this new equipment gets here and everything, we're gonna have we're gonna have longer talks, and I'll take questions or whatever you want. And whatever we're gonna do, we're gonna build this channel together. Remember, please subscribe down below, hit the bell icon so you know when I'm gonna be uploading, and also give me a thumbs up. That would be cool. Give me a thumbs down if you want. Leave a comment underneath. Just please. Try to interact, and let's build this together. And until next time, I will leave you with this. Katie and I are also, obviously, the name of this is Headlocks and Hauntings, so this is not just professional wrestling. This also is our other venture, another thing that we have a lot of interested in, that's paranormal investigating, which later on today we're going to be posting paranormal investigation, sit-down talk, and discussing some of the people on YouTube you can check out, and let you guys know some of the stuff that we're going to be doing with, the EVP meters and all the different gadgets to help us, and the reason that we're into this, and all the different stuff that goes on with paranormal investigating. All right, so everybody be good to each other. Make sure that you go out. If you got a dream, follow it, and we'll talk to you later on.